There we go. We are live. Hello to those who are watching on the replay. Happy freaking Monday. Happy 9/11. Happy September 11th. Okay. I want to grab all my things over here. Okay. Don't need that. Okay. I guess that'll work. Okay. Hello. Happy Monday. Happy Monday night, y'all. What's going on? I've been here. What's up? What's up, first of all? Pika. I took most of last week off. I was really exhausted. I needed to sleep and I needed to rest. And I find that happens every 3 weeks or so. And so, thank you. I like it. And so, yeah, that's where I was. I think I did a live Thursday, and I wanted to do on Friday, but I just couldn't. I was so exhausted. So I've just been kind of resting. But yeah, it wasn't a lunar week, but I think it was the week after lunar week. But every so often I just like, nope, I just need to clear out and do all the things. How are you doing? How are you doing, my dear? What's up, Cohen? Is it Conan because your name, your handle is Conan the Barbarian, or is it Cohen? Is it Cohen the Barbarian? What's up, guys? Happy Monday. What's going on? It's been crazy. Yeah, there's so many shifts happening so rapidly. What was I gonna say? I don't know what I was gonna say. But I'm gonna take a drink. Oops. Thank y'all for hanging out. How is it going? Oh, good for you. Good for you. Congratulations. Yeah, that felt like it was gonna move anyway, whether or not you but I'm glad. Congratulations. Good for you. That's dope, to be honest. I can do future readings. It's just that's just really tapping into timelines, Lydia. And a lot of people do ask those types of questions that have to do with the future. I always like to say, though, there is no the future. It's always, everything is in flux, and it depends on people's choices. It depends on, that kind of affect how something is going to come and manifest. And sometimes when we speak on certain things, and sometimes when you get a reading on certain things, it can actually shift the energy and it can make it go in a different trajectory. So, but yeah, I do. So you say it wasn't me. She ghosted and blocked. Wow. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But I feel like, but she did it in a weird way, and it was because I went live. See, I feel like that shows you, I feel like that shows you that connection served its purpose. I do mediumship. I do facilitate mediumship. That connection definitely served its purpose, and good for you. I think it's for the best, to be honest, because it sounded like, there's a lot of ego stuff there. It feels like, not to judge anybody, but, that's what happens sometimes. Okay. So what's up, everybody? My name is Angelica. I do not do pregnancy questions. I don't do pregnancy or fertility. Sorry, it's just not my bag, but I don't. Okay. What's up, y'all? My name is Angelica. I am a quantum healer, a channel, a light linguist, a bridge, a catalyst. Typically, people come to me and work with me when they're in a phase of where they're transforming rapidly or quickly, and I tend to catalyze transformation very quickly. Okay, I also do mediumship, and obviously, as tonight will show you, I also do readings or read energies as well. Good for you. Yeah, hurt for a bit, but yeah, like I dodged a bullet for sure, yeah. Yeah, because that's hurtful to just like ghost you, and be like, wait, what? Yeah, I kind of had little bit of the same thing ish happen, and I was like, okay. Can't do anything about it. So, as I was stating, I am offering free readings. I'm offering paid readings, okay? The free readings are short, concise, and really you just leave a comment with your question, your name, and I'll scan the comments. And I will intuitively go to the comments whoever I'm intuitively guided to, okay? So those are free readings, okay? As for paid readings are a little bit more in depth. They are also going to put you on a list to where you come first. All of my paid readings and all of my paid services go first. Okay, so let's get into it. All right. So if you want a free reading, you just leave a comment with your name, like I said. You can be a question. You could just be general, open. Yes, you can do yes or no questions. I don't do pregnancy or fertility. It's just not my bag. And then it's just one question only. Okay. Those are going to be short, little, concise, readings. Okay. As for my paid services, I'm not just offering free and paid readings. I also offer energy work, energy clearing. And yes, I'm a badass at that. I'm a quantum healer and ascended master healer. And most of my work involves healing of some kind. So I'm very good at healing. I also offer mediumship, which is connecting with past loved ones. And we can do specific or be open. And I also offer multidimensional mediumship. And those are paid services only, okay? So I do free and paid readings, but my paid services, like mediumship and energy work, those are paid only, just to be clear, okay? And if you are paying or donating for a reading, please let me know, or please know that you can find the links to donate that are in my profile. You click the link there, scroll all the way down. There's Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. And then you come back here and let me know in the comments that you donated. Okay? All right. I hope that makes everything clear. And I'm going to start to scan the comments. 444. Oh, that's what you said. Okay. That's what you said. That's why you said, never mind. All right. How funny. Okay. So let me get my shit in line here. Alrighty. Do you feel if I should do a regular read, or what is your, or multidimensional? What do you want to do? Like, I'm here to facilitate. I love it. You let me know. What do you feel most guided to do, my dear? Thank you for the roses. I can't read that because it looks like it's maybe in Sanskrit. I can't read that, but thank you for that. Thank you for the roses and the gifts. All right. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. All right. We're clearing a lot. Clearing a lot of stuff tonight. Okay. So I'm just scanning through the comments. Bear with me. I don't know guidance, but like, yes. I was gonna say guidance, but like, that can come in either form. Does that make sense? It can come through, multidimensional mediumship or just like a regular reading, to be honest. And I have forgotten your name again. Like, I feel really bad for saying it, but I've forgotten your name again. Because it's like, I want to say it's like Jennifer, but I'm afraid that I'm wrong. All right. So, okay. The one thing I did forget to mention is that any love readings or relationship readings, um, my highest self has actually guided me to limit that to paid only readings. So paid live readings or private readings with me. And I do offer private readings, etc. on my website. Oh, Ash. Yeah, I knew I was wrong. I knew I was wrong. My bad. Oh, Jennifer's your mom's name. All right. Natalie. Natalie, I'm actually feeling your question, my dear. I really like this question. Do my adoptive parents resent me for for searching or searching for your biological family? To me, when I tap into it or like what I heard right away was it's not, you might be sensing or feeling their hurt, but it doesn't feel like they're resentful towards you. It feels like it's just, their own, emotions and feelings coming up with you taking those steps to search, for what you've been called to search for in your life. So it doesn't feel like it's malicious in any way. It's more like kind of natural stuff that's coming up that doesn't feel malicious. Let me just put it that way. It just feels like, stuff that's coming up for them to kind of deal with it, to deal with, like, they might feel hurt, but it's not hurt at you. Does that make sense? It's more like, the work that they've done, the work they've put in, and it's like, it's not personal, but like you're feeling it, you're sensing it. It's personal for them. It's not personal towards you. It's personal for them, for their own stuff to kind of feel out and suss out, and kind of work through and process through. Okay. It's not your stuff, it's theirs. Okay. So in any or in any, if I could give you any advice, there is, don't take their stuff on. That's their stuff that they need to sort out, because you're obviously taking the steps that you feel guided to take in your life, and they can't fault you for that. And if other people do fault you for that, that's their shit, not yours. Does that make sense? But short answer, it feels like there's stuff that comes up for them, but it's not malicious or like personal towards you. It's just stuff that's naturally coming up for them to process. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Hello. Also know that, this is a sacred, safe space, and any disrespecting of that space, that makes sense. Good. I'm glad. Any disrespecting of that space will get you blocked. Okay. They're in their feelings and can't see it from my side. Yeah. They're just going to have to deal with it, because, this is your journey. This is your journey. Okay. So I commend you, And to be honest, if I was like adopted, I think at some point I'd probably want to know too. And if anybody had a problem with it, that gets to be their shit to work out for themselves. You know, not in an arrogant way, in a loving way. Like they get to work that shit out for themselves. That confirmation makes me feel better. Thank you. I'll try my best. Yeah, I get that. People pleasers can, yep. I get that. I totally know what it's like to be a people pleaser. Okay. All right. I'm just scrolling through the comments. I'm a little behind at this point. Oh, yeah, and it hasn't been a good reunion. So not having the support has been hard. Yeah. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry that you feel unsupported in making that decision. That can be really hard. Very eye-opening, but sometimes it's a tough pill to swallow sometimes. So I'm sending you my love, some hugs, okay? Casey, you're asking for a general reading. I love it because I like when people are just open and they want just spirit to come through. Okay, Casey, this is who I'm reading for, right? Okay, Casey, 444. One moment. I'm hearing to pull a card for you. Sometimes that's the easiest. Yep. And I couldn't even get the words out, and then bam, done. Okay, so your card, my dear, is faith. Okay, it's upside down for a reason. Okay, so there it is, up, right side up, and this is about expanding. If you look at the bottom right there, the Pleiades comes from that star system, and this is about expansion and faith. Okay, so when I read it like this, there's something about faith that you're actually having resistance to and with, and it feels like trust. The underlying issue is trust, and that feels like it's a bit difficult or a bit of a challenge for you, whether it's at this stage in life or it's been something that's been a pattern throughout your life. It's been something that's that feels, the way that it comes across is it feels pretty difficult, pretty challenging, and the root cause is because there's been a lot of conditioning around mistrust or distrust, and not a lot of building in trust itself, and that maybe component that plays into faith itself. Okay, trusting that source, God, creator, whatever you want to call that universal consciousness, it's got your back. It's going to be, as long as you're doing your thing and you're on, your, just for example, like you're doing your thing, trusting that creator or source or whatever is working out all the details. And those details are going to come into, alignment, or it's going to come into play at whatever time it needs to come into. Trusting, always trusting. So it feels like your faith is being brought down, so to speak, by a lack of trusting that things are going to work out, and things are working out. And that goes a little bit deeper that I'm not going to get into, so I'm going to leave that there. But that is your card, my dear. I hope that makes sense. You can let me know if it makes sense or not. And if it doesn't resonate, please don't take it. Okay. All right. Yeah, I agree, Precious. The spamming, I do encourage y'all. I encourage y'all to please post your questions, more than once, but there's there's a nice like healthy balance to where you're just spamming, and then you're just wanting to ensure that you're being seen. So there's a nice little balance there, but try to be a little bit more cognizant of that, please. I do agree with Precious. Thank you for saying that. Oh, thank you, Kathleen. Kathleen says, I just wanted to say your aura is just beautiful. Thank you. I've been scrubbing it out daily for a long time. Hi, I don't do pregnancy questions or anything around that. I'm sorry about that, but I don't. Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying that. I am a little bit behind on my. I don't. The thing about having a moderator, I'd love to have a moderator. It's just that you have to have one on. You have to like appoint one before you go on live. I've tried to do it live before and it doesn't work. So I would like to, but yeah. If anybody wants to moderate for me during the weeks, please let me know. And they're willing to be like, kind of meet up with me, that'd be great. 444. You're saying trust is very hard for me. I usually have a wall up with new people, but thank you. I needed to hear that. You're welcome. I get that. I think that's why we can also, create filters for, you don't always say all the things right off the bat. People get to earn, your trust through their consistent action over time. You know what I mean? And yeah, so, you can always, I get that. I get what you're saying. But you can also create filters for yourself. Okay. I know that work. I can't seem to remember anybody's name today. Whoa, what was going on there? Okay. All right. So just wanted to put it out there again. I'm offering free readings, paid readings, right? And paid services such as energy work and mediumship. Okay. If you do want a free reading, my dears, there are the instructions. So you leave a comment with your name and a question. You can be open. I do not do, if you notice, I don't have love on there, and I've been guided to put love and relationship readings as paid only, just as per my highest self. And if you do want to pay for a reading, it does put you on a list where you do get read. For sure. So if it's anything about relationships, it's paid, either paid live, or I would encourage you to come and get a private reading with me. I like this question. Lisa, you're asking, should I switch careers? And I like your little, I like the little flowers there. I am going to, first off, say, before I tune into your energy, Lisa, it always gets to be your choice. So I'm not here to take anybody's choice away. I'm here to, if anything, illuminate that you have a choice. And it's always, whether your life shifts or changes or whatever, it's always due to your choice. Okay. So I just want to highlight that there. But so I can't tell you what to do, and I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I can tune into the energy and see maybe what's more in alignment, what's not in alignment, etc. Like with your energy. Okay. So I'm just going to tune in. Lisa. One moment. I just want to make sure that I'm clear, and I just want to make sure that I'm clear on something. I'm getting a clear answer and not like an intrusive, like thought form type of thing. So I'm going to focus. There you are. Okay. Okay, so when I tune into you and your career that you're in now, it does feel like there are certain elements that bring joy. There are certain elements that actually do resonate with your soul or with you on a soul level. But your career, I guess now as a whole, I feel like that's why you're asking it. It's almost like you're looking for permission to change and shift into something that feels more soul aligned, that feels more joyful, that feels more resonant with, like, doing the fucking thing that you want to do. So what I'm hearing to say is remind you that you are your authority over your life, again, with the power thing. Like, I'm not here to make your choices for you, but you are the authority over your own life. It does feel like there's something else more aligned, and it feels like that's something that you would create for yourself. Career-wise, I don't see anything. I typically don't get a lot of things in like the shorter, compact readings. I typically don't get a lot of minuscule details. That's usually typically something more for a more in-depth reading. So I don't get anything as far as like what would be more fulfilling. I feel like that is more of an inner journey that you're being guided and encouraged. And I would invite you to maybe look into, because the one thing that I'm kind of feeling is, I would ask you, what are the components or the elements of your career now that you like? And what are the elements that you don't like or that you dislike? And on top of that, I would ask you, what would feel more fulfilling? What would feel like it gives you more freedom? And what would you like jump out of bed to do every day that, yeah, I'll leave it there. What could you do career-wise every day, that would evoke passion and joy, and just like you would jump out of bed every day in order to do it? I would invite you to maybe feel into those questions, do some self-reflection, and to see, but it does feel like the way I feel it, to be honest, Lisa, it feels like an inevitable career change, because it feels like there's certain shifts within your, I don't know if you work for a company, I'm just going to say company for all intents and purposes. It feels like there's some shifts internally that are going on that will down the line almost force a shift of careers, because it might not be available in the same way that it is now. I don't know what that means, but that's how I'm hearing it in my head, so I'm going to relay it like that, okay? And I'm going to leave it there. But I would encourage you to give yourself permission, if you don't feel that spark, to find something that does give you that spark, okay? Find or create something that gives you that spark. I hope that makes sense. Let me know Um, oh, Lisa says, yes, I help families. I want to do what I've always wanted to do. There's so much trauma, but joy. I got you. I got you. You're welcome, Lisa. But I have an offer of a job that isn't as impactful, but less trauma. And my soul is heavy. Dead on. Okay, I got you. And you know what, Lisa? There might be some kind of intersection between the two of having a big impact, because if you like having a big impact and that brings you joy, stick with that. And maybe there's just something else that you haven't maybe considered yet that, you know, doesn't have a lot of trauma. Also, remember that you don't have to take on other people's stuff. It feels like you're also, there's another layer of you taking on, you know, the drama or the trauma of other people because you're working so closely with them. Okay. So there's like another little layer of stuff, but you're welcome. I hope that helps. Okay, Ash, what did you pay for? What do you want, my dear? Are you asking for, is it multidimensional or just mediumship, or what is it, my dear? Thank you for the donation, by the way. I appreciate it. Very heavy. Yeah, I get that. Multi. Okay. All right. She likes doing the things. I get it. All right. Yep, I'm already feeling it. All right. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. 1 second. Ooh, all right. All right, Ash. I can't believe I didn't remember that. I knew it was a 3-letter word. I was like, Jennifer? So weird. Anyway, that's still rattling around in my head. Okay, Ash. Okay, there you are. So Ash, you paid for a multidimensional mediumship. And this is where for anybody who doesn't know, this is where I connect to guides, highest self, and or other multidimensional aspects of you. This is just, I just kind of open it up. I connect to someone's energy and I go to the highest self, and the highest self brings in whatever multidimensional aspect, or, you know, speaks from that spot, like from the highest self. So it kind of depends, but that's kind of what that is. All right. Ash. So let me connect with you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I already kind of feel where it's going. Ash, was your guide named Adam that we connected with that one time? Was it Adam? Was that who that was? Because no, it was the one after. Oh, okay. But his name was Adam, right? That was like the name that came through the one guide. Hello, sissy. I like all the fairies. I like it. Yeah, because wasn't it Adam, and then it was the Syrian, was it the Syrian guide? It feels like, because Adam, I feel like it's the first guide coming in again, but wants to bring a different aspect of maybe the same message, I guess. Like almost a different perspective or a different take on it. I'm not sure how to properly convey that, but it's something to that effect. Okay. As I was tuning into your energy, Ash, I could feel there's like a major there's like a major overhaul or a very significant shifting in your identity going on right now, especially with this, your former employer doing what, you know, she did, and that connection being broken. It's meant to bring you back to you and yourself and doing what's right by you. Because it was like, what he's showing me is that like you were kind of pretzeling yourself into the box that your former employer wanted you to be in, rather than being true to your own soul and where it's guiding you. And he kind of comes in and says like, yeah, that shit was done. It's a little bit like the way he says it, it's assertive. It's not like aggressive, but it's like assertive and saying like, no, like that. It's basically a confirmation that that connection was not meant to play out the way maybe you wanted it to play out. He wants to point out there, though, that there was your former employer was operating from a place of ego so that you could become aware of what works for you and what doesn't going forward. Do you want to work in that type of, from that space? Would you want to, if you had an employee, or if you had, you know, a business partner, would you want to inhibit them from working in the way that they, you know what I mean? Would you be like, would you get pissed off at somebody because they went live and did their own thing and followed their own bliss and followed their own soul? He's basically wanting to say it in a way that is highlighting the level of ego that that person was operating from, so that you could be aware of that within you. Or like when you might be operating in that. And also to give you more perspective or understanding within yourself of how you want to operate going forward. It's, yeah, okay, all right, I got you. He's also wanting to highlight, it's also bringing you back to your power. So he keeps saying power to me. So it's wanting to bring you back to your power, okay? Because you were giving your power to this person and pretzeling yourself in a way of like, okay, let me do the things, because you wanted to be like, you felt a sense of loyalty to her, essentially. And he's wanting to highlight being loyal to the quote unquote right people, and also being loyal to yourself first, because being loyal to yourself first is going to show you who's actually, I guess, deserving, you could say, of your loyalty, and who isn't, who you're going to give your loyalty to, and like who doesn't, you know, like, no, that doesn't fit, that fits, that doesn't fit. Does that make sense? Okay, so there was a loyalty thing here too, and that feels like it goes back to like a parent thing, being loyal to a parent or a figure, like a authority figure. Okay, this goes back to authority too. So we're working with authority. We're working very deeply within the solar plexus. Within the solar plexus, where identity, authority, ego, inner child. So there's a lot of things, there's a lot of components and elements weaving in, okay, that he's bringing in. Um, he's helping at this time to bring you or to guide you and assist you and show you your own inner authority, because it feels like you're a bit disconnected from that. Not that you don't like make your own decisions or anything like that. Nothing like that. It's more connecting on a deeper level to your own inner authority and recognizing and being able to recognize and discern when maybe someone else is wanting you to bend or force you into acquiescing to their authority rather than honoring the authority that you have over your own life. Does that make sense? So he's wanting to bring that to light as well. Inner authority. Okay. There's going to be an activation here in a minute around inner authority. It feels like maybe even clearing. Oh, duh. When we activate, we clear. So that makes sense. Let me listen to see if there's anything else. Okay. With that, he wants to bring in awareness around you may be feeling a little bit more fatigued or exhausted lately, because I mean the energy or because I keep being brought back to the solar plexus and like, girl, there's so much work being done on like refining that, allowing your own internal authority and source to shine for itself and to be in its own light rather than needing to source from someone else or feel like you're somehow not worthy or capable of doing the dang thing on your own, from just shining your own light. But there is a lot going on in the solar plexus. It's like, is a lot. So there might be extra fatigue or exhaustion. Don't know, but that's what I'm hearing to say, so I'm saying it. The other thing that that he's wanting to highlight is your nervous system. If you are sensitive, especially if you're working in the work, in the work that you were working with your former employer, doing all of that work, it probably says that you're sensitive to some degree to energies, all of those different things. You want to definitely take extra good care of your nervous system right now. Regulating your nervous system. Anything around self-care where you're, in a self-care, self-love, and, I'm trying to figure out how to say this best. Just where you're like taking care of yourself and you're like in bringing yourself to a calm place. Or if you find yourself getting overreactive, soothing your own nervous system, because our nervous system is great. And I'm talking more specifically about the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight. So if you find yourself in a lot of fight or flight, a lot of anxiety, it's really important to soothe your nervous system and to remind yourself that you're safe, and soothing yourself that way. I don't really have a lot of practices, so I don't have like a lot of different things that I could tell you in that space. So maybe just about calming and soothing yourself if you find yourself anxious or nervous about the future, like going back and forth. Future, past, that type of thing. If there's anxiety, it's about soothing and calming your nervous system. So there's a lot of emphasis there as well. And I don't know that this is true, but that he's also showing me how this might manifest physically as feeling a little bit more more poochy than normal, like in your tummy region, in your tummy region, feeling like a little bit like bloated, or feeling, I would say bloated, like feeling like you just had a whole bag of chips and you didn't have any water, and now you're retaining all of this water, and you're feeling bloated, kind of like that. Okay, so I don't know if there's anything of that nature happening, but he's saying that I'm basically getting the message that it might be happening or manifesting physically, and that's an indication that you're nervous to work with your nervous system more intimately. Okay, whether it's running energy, calming yourself down, etc. Okay. Now he wants to get into the activation / clearing. Are you ready, my dear? And I'm going to, you get stimulated. I get what he means. Yeah. That overstimulation, you got to bring yourself to a calm place. Yes, boss made me doubt my own. Yep. Yeah. Call me out. Why don't you? No wonder my mom got brought up. How much? Oh, Carly, how much is a multi-dimensional reading? So that's 39, my dear. And we can connect, and it's kind of whatever aspect of you that comes through. Okay. And all of the links to donate or pay are in my bio. So you click my bio, or you click the link in my bio, you scroll all the way down, and there are all of the pay buttons there. Yes, I'm ready, but can you ask about leg and Phoenix? Did I miss something? Oh, so you named him Simon. Okay, that's fine. Whatever name you got for him, it's how you connect. Oh, can you ask if Simon is okay? Okay, I was told he didn't like the name. Here's the thing. Like, before I even go into that, I'll go into that. But before I even go into that, if that's something that you connect to, typically our guides, it's more about like how you connect and what you connect to. Like guides, they don't really have names. We here on Earth, that's how we identify each other. And so that's part of how that's part of our structure, how we identify each other. But like spirit guides, they don't they don't identify each other in that way. It's more vibration and frequency that gets recognized. And it's the same thing here, but we don't really quite understand that, or maybe acknowledge that quite yet fully. So if Simon works for you, I would say go with Simon, but I will like check in. I was calling him Adam though. Okay. Here's kind of the feedback that I'm getting from this guide. He says he's kind of reiterating kind of what I said to you, but a little bit more specific. So he would like you to pick whatever name that feels like powerful to you, and like feels powerful. Feels like, oh, that's a powerful name. Choose that. Choose a name that feels powerful. And because he's here to show you the ropes as far as power, embracing your power, like that solar plexus and a little bit into that sacral. So I get a lot of sacral and a whole lot of solar plexus energy with him. So he's saying choose a name that you feel or that that feels powerful to you. Okay. I to be honest, it could be just my own way that I'm oriented. I don't really feel that he cares either way, to be honest. But that it could just be my own filters. Does that make sense? What was the Phoenix thing that you had to ask? Simon says simple. I like it. You said something about Phoenix though, and Phoenix. I will wait because then we'll go into the codes. Codes. I'm actually hearing it's a thought. And the other was okay, it's a thought. Career. Oh, it's a thought / career. And the other was my leg. Okay, all right. All right. Melody, you will see here in a minute. So I'm going to bring in some codes for Ash, aka Pikachu, because she's paid for a reading here. And so if anybody else would like to, is open to receiving those codes, it's always for your highest and best good only. I can already feel them coming through. Then you can feel free to be receptive to that. Otherwise, I would encourage you to click off, okay? Because typically if you're in the space, you're gonna receive something. Okay, Ash. So I'm hearing to do the codes now. And codes, Melody, are light codes. So they're like basically zip files of information that get downloaded into your field. Haelaha to huasin sashana to uihi anatihia sanata asanata asi awati anataya sanata etututu lena to yasanati hasanati hasanati hasanata ualati anata anati asanata diasanati asana leo yanati anata koyanati hasanata alada area uyane Yarona te hoasana te yarata eresana to yasana to hasana to hasana. Go ahead and take a deep breath for me and focus on your solar plexus, right where your ribs, right underneath your ribs. In that space right under your ribs. Hianato yarasate yasata rahanato huyata hayata Riesanato yarasate yarasana halata yarasata So we're clearing a lot of we're doing a lot of clearing at the moment. The old versions or the old identities you've previously identified as are being let go, are being released, and within the next couple of days you might become aware of old versions of you that identified in a certain way. You're like, and you might be like, oh, you know what? Like that just doesn't work anymore. So we're clearing a lot of old versions of you that no longer will serve you where you want to go, that are no longer serving your highest good. And we're just clearing a lot of the information in your field that corresponds to those old versions of self. Hila hila ayana uya yara ta tu uya mayo tu uya hata ketia tu uya liana tia sanata ya yawe liana ilia yawe ha sasha asa ta 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 me aloya na iala ana to kuya se ana tia sana ke ya tu ai no ya Yara, to, miata, iata. Go ahead and take another deep breath for me. Beautiful. And I just want you to focus on that solar plexus. Keep your focus right there, right underneath your ribs, or right below your ribs is what I meant to say. I want you to see, feel, or know that energy center or that chakra. I want you to see it getting brighter. That turning into a very, very bright yellow, like the sun. And I want you to expand that light as much as you can. Make that sun as big as you can. As big as feels good for you to make it, you can make it so it encompasses your entire being. That's fine. However big you want to make that inner sun, go ahead and make it that big. And I just want you to focus on that sun, on that inner sun. Eleoya, eleoha natahia sanataka aya. Ahayeloi, elaoye, bahale. Senetuye, senehuye, ianate, ia senete, asenete, asenete, hasanata. Eleoya, eleoe, 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 ianato uase, sha. Riasano tu hia halasate hia sata yasakro dianeneli ayatuya. Focusing on that internal sun, allowing it to be big and bright and beautiful and brilliant and magnificent. Elewea, alewea, anata awa ayataka anatokuena tikiana te. Iarasate asa rasata ta. Now I want you to envision, so visualize, know, or see that this inner sun is burning off whatever no longer serves you, whatever energies, whatever frequencies no longer serve you. Okay? Just burning off any residue, any old emotional baggage, any trauma, anything that no longer serves you. I want you to see it just burning that stuff off. It's all of the stuff that no longer serves your highest good. Okay? Shaniwa, Ahayanata, Hianata, Hata, Iasakata, Iasanata, Kaualetia, the Arasati Wayanatia Sana, Alewia, Ilawia, Nata Asikia, Uya, Anata Haya. Take another deep breath. This is all about coming back to the self, who you truly are, beyond all of the history, beyond all of the programming, the indoctrination, beyond, what people told you to be or told you, or who you thought you should be in order to be acceptable or lovable or whatever. All of the BS. Releasing all of that, all of those stories, all of those narratives, all of that which no longer serves. And as source is in and of our container tonight, you can just see all of that stuff that's burning off goes back to source, creator, God, whatever you want to call that, universal consciousness, and is returned back to wholeness. So continue to focus on that solar plexus, and we're going to begin to shrink that energy back down to size. So if you had it really, really expanded out beyond your body, then bring that energy back and see it back inside your body. It can still be pretty sizable, but just bringing it back into the body and focusing there. Hi Eloia ha. Hi Eloia haya na ha na haya. Ilahia na hoa ia ha na sashuye. Ia na hala na hiana halawe hayas. Inawele haya sana tuhuas ishi asana tihia sana tahia sana takauya. Just focusing on that solar plexus. And the question that I'm hearing come through that you may want to, that I would encourage and invite you to feel into, do some self-reflection, maybe some journaling on, is who do you know yourself to be deep, deep, deep within you? Eya mahole, dalo iya na hat, dole ne se kianatai, la anatau uya se, show uya na hia. Alu inia hayata inaha no wale asine asashuye. So go ahead and take a deep breath. And just feel your body, feel whatever sensations are coming, or that you feel. Let's just say that. Feel whatever sensations you feel inside of your body or on your skin, wherever your awareness goes. Just let it kind of be natural. As all of this big energy is settling, And we're just letting what is leaving our energy field to leave entirely, completely. And then again, I want you to focus on that solar plexus. Feel the light that is there. Feel the person that you know yourself to be. It is there. It is simply a choice away, and another choice, and another choice, which is also an element of the solar plexus. You get to choose. This is how I'm hearing it. You get to choose your avatar. You get to choose who you want to be, how you want to show up. You get to choose all of these different things. You already chose your physical avatar, but there's other things that you can adorn yourself with, like clothes or jewelry or makeup, different things that we can choose to implement in order to change our avatar, the way it looks, right? But how the avatar shows up emotionally, mentally, spiritually, does your avatar show up in a calm way? Does it show up in a very, articulate, communicative, how do you want your avatar to communicate? So there is this question of the internal things, right? The internal, how do you want to communicate? How do you want your avatar to show up? You get to choose how your avatar shows up. It's all about choosing to make the required shifts in order to make that happen, in order to create the manifestation of that shift. And sometimes these shifts can happen instantaneously. So there's no limits. It's just more of the question of how do you want your avatar to show up? Because that's going to play a great deal in personality, in how you identify. There's an old layer being shed currently of doubt, of not quite feeling like the inner authority over your own life, maybe needing others' permission to kind of validate and like give you the confirmation to go forward and do the things. But there is a stripping of and a shedding of that layer. And there is an initiation process happening to move you into more of your inner authority and being that for yourself. And identifying as the inner and only authority over yourself. You get to say the things. You are good enough. You don't have to doubt that. You can trust yourself. You can trust where you're going. Even if you don't know where the fuck you're going sometimes, you can still trust yourself to navigate that and to know how to discern which way to go, even when you feel a little confused or a lot confused. So it's all about identity right now. The old identity is shedding. You are no longer that person, and now you are beginning to uncover a new identity. This guide that's come through that you are naming Simon, or whatever other name that you want to give him, it's a masculine energy. He's helping you to reclaim your power and to move into your power by shedding old identities that they won't work for you going forward. That's why this person vibrated out of your life. It's a matter of frequency and vibration. Like they literally can't fit into your life anymore. The person that you're becoming. There will be more. I'm hearing to share that there'll be more clarity as you move through more and more. You're like, oh yeah, I totally see. Like that person just definitely wasn't, wasn't for me. And now I see, where that person was operating from. All love, no judgment, just like, whoa, like a realization and awareness of like, holy shit. That's where I was. Holy shit. You have that to look forward to, is what I'm hearing that I can share with you. Okay. Okay. So we're just going to anchor into the heart. So I want you to bring your awareness to your heart, my dear, and whoever's is still receiving. We're just going to anchor into the heart. And imagining that bright green of the heart, or pink if you prefer. Anchoring all in the heart, an expansion in love and compassion for the self, an acceptance for where you are, knowing that you are expanding and moving towards and becoming more of who you truly are, what you truly are. And scene. Okay, give me a minute to come back. Let me know how that went for you, Ash, if you haven't already. There's a lot coming through. Yeah, that was my cat. He comes in every now and then. Comes in every now and then to say hi. Whew, you had heat and tingles? Yeah, there was a lot going on there. With, as always, lots of water, salt bath, or shower. On top of everything, Ash, I do feel like there's going to be some uncovering over the next 2 to 3 days. We're still clearing a lot of stuff. So, yeah, my dear Carly, there's the list. But it feels like there's some uncovering over the next 2 to 3 days. This might come in like brief awarenesses. I hope you've seen that, Carly. So it might come in brief awarenesses. It might come in memories. It might come in like different forms as it's like leaving your system. So just be aware that it's leaving your system, and you don't have to hold on to any of that stuff, because we did we did quite a bit. We did a lot. It was a lot. It's still clearing, to be honest. It's going to be clearing maybe still over the next day, or more or less over the next day. So the next 24 hours, more or less, and then past that 2 or 3 days, uncovering more and more of like who you're meant to be, and more genuine, more authentic, more you, stuff that feels like more like you, uncovering that stuff. So, you know, like I said, there might be stuff that comes up that you're like, oh, wow, okay, I haven't thought about that in forever. Just let it pass through you, and see, if there's anything that it needs to show you. But I would say don't be overly attached to anything. But let me know. Let me know if you need any extra support, or if you need to reach out. Please feel free to. Okay. Ash says, go big or go home." Ash, I feel like you always are like, just go big. Yeah. If this is my last call, this will be my last call for free and paid readings. So Carly, if you do feel called to one, feel free to let me know. If not, not a big deal. I do offer these on a private one-to-one session basis. They're just the services that I offer here live are a fraction of what I charge for, one-on-one FaceTime with me. Yeah. So, okay, sweet. Yeah. Please do, Ash, if you have any. He didn't even say anything about Phoenix. Yeah, this was very, very focused on the solar plexus. I don't know what's going on with the leg, but it might have something to do with what's going on in the solar plexus. Not quite sure. But no, it was very focused. He wanted to focus, like super focus on solar plexus and what was coming up identity-wise. So no, he didn't. And I don't even get the Phoenix thing. But no, he did not. All right. So this is my last call. Free readings, paid readings. Okay. Oh, you did pay. Oh, look at you. All right, my dear. Okay, Carly, thank you for the donation. I really appreciate it, my dear. What can I do for you? Are you looking for multidimensional mediumship like I did with Ash? What is it how can I be of service to you, my dear? All right. Whoa, hold on. Okay, just want to make sure. All right, cool. Okay. Oh, it's the business name. A Phoenix Curiosity. I don't know. You're indecisive. That's okay. But like I want to illuminate that you made a choice, so it's not really that you're indecisive. I think you just feel a little I don't know if intimidated is the word. You just feel like, but you made a choice. It's all good. All right. So Carly, 1 second. I think I already swiped it. Okay. So we're going to do multidimensional mediumship for you, my dear. So first thing I'm going to do is connect to your energy. Okay, there you are. So we're multi. So in multidimensional mediumship, I will tune into like your higher self, and your higher self will guide me to whatever guide or aspect of self, or your higher self itself will speak. Okay. And from there, there's usually light codes, kind of like what we just did with Ash, clearing messages, etc. So it could be like a whole combination of things. Okay. So, ooh, this is interesting. All right. So this is very interesting. So I'm just going to start talking and we'll see. It'll usually make sense as we go. Okay. So for you, my dear, Carly, higher self. What I was getting when I was initially tuning in was, ooh, it was like different shades of pink. There was like a darker pink, there was a lighter pink, but it was in a very specific shape. And it was almost like a seashell. Like I was seeing like a seashell might have like peach tones and like pink tones, like lighter. But the way I was seeing this type of shell, or even it even kind of looked like a piece of coral. There's like a lot of pink and a lot of pink. So dark pink and a lighter pink, like a darker, I don't even know what shade of pink, just a darker pink and a lighter pink. To me, this starts to morph into like coral. So it feels like there is an aspect of you that is coming through that is more connected to the oceans, the seas, water, water very specifically. Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense. Okay. I just want to listen for one moment. Okay. So this is the multidimensional aspect of you that feels, no, that is a mermaid. She resides on a different version of Earth where mermaids are they interact with humans. And humans know that they are in fact real. It's very interesting. But she's connecting, it's really interesting because she's connecting with me through this very interesting looking coral. Okay. Okay. So it's a very feminine energy. So I'm going to say she. Okay. So the way that she comes in is she wants to explain the symbolism or the meaning behind the coral that she's bringing in. A coral is a very delicate structure, meaning if under the right circumstances, with the the right synergistic relationships, it thrives, right? But under, just slightly different or maybe even more significant change, different relationships or different environmental I'm trying to find the word, and under different circumstances, completely different. And then she shows me like how a lot of our oceans, corals are whitening, they're bleaching out, and then they die after that. So she's bringing in this. It's a symbol of under. Okay, there's a couple of reasons why she's saying this. Is because she's helping you understand more about your subtle nature and like subtleties about yourself, because under the right circumstances you thrive, right? It's very specific, very subtle circumstances, very synergistic, mutually beneficial relationships, you thrive. But in different circumstances, it's almost like, it's equivalent to that whitened or that bleached coral that I was explaining. Okay, so she's coming in as and bringing this symbology, and it's speaking to different layers of your consciousness, not just to your conscious mind, but we're talking to more deep layers of your subconscious. Okay. The next thing that she wants to bring up is about the emotional waters in which you swim. You are more of a depth, you're more is it acquainted? Do I want to use that word? You're more equipped to go deep. But because of the way she puts it to me in my own head is like the programming, it does feel like there's some traumas there. The way that you were, your sensitivity was either criticized or judged, that type of thing. Because of those things, there's some hesitancy to not go super deep, and it almost feels like a lack of trust or like a mistrust, because you don't want to like have the same experience of like, feeling judged for, being able to go deep, or feeling judged because there's sensitivity there. So it's like she's talking about two things at once, and I'm trying to make sense. So she's talking about emotionally deep, as well as, conversationally going deep, having deeper conversations about life, about spirituality, about like the truth of it all, all kind of, within those two topics or elements of life, or those aspects of life, more so emotionally, as well as like how deep you can go with, maybe the right person. Okay. Whew, that was a lot. Okay, so let me tune back in. Okay, that's interesting. This is very interesting. So the feeling that I get from this that she's bringing in next is about, it's like the feeling of her placing a crown upon your head. This feels symbolic. Again, we're talking to different layers of your consciousness. One, she's not going to tell me all of the things because she's saying it goes a lot deeper than what we have time here for. But like part of what the crown symbolizes is you taking ownership of your emotional depth and how deep you are as a person, and that you want to go as a person, and that maybe you don't let yourself, or that maybe your certain relationships in your life don't go that deep, and there are just, I guess, a lack of fulfillment because you're not going as deep as, because it's like this, she keeps giving me the sense of like, you are meant to go really freaking deep in your life, whether it's personal life, your friendships, your career, etc. Like you like to go really, really deep, and also with emotions. So I don't know if there is resistance. There feels like there's resistance somewhere, and it's not quite matching what she's telling me. Like your life is not quite matching what is coming through, but she's the guide. She's the guide in helping you to realize your depth, and that you're much more accustomed to the deep waters than you may give yourself credit for, or than you may want to go into. Okay. She's giving me an A name. It's funny because I kind of hear Ariel with her, kind of like the mermaid, the Little Mermaid. But like you can give her a different name, but it's like she feels very resonant with like an A name. If you don't like Ariel, she would like you to give her some name that begins with an A. She likes A names. And you can connect to her through being close to water, or on like a beach, anywhere that's near water. Even like through holding a seashell, no matter what kind of seashell it is. And or through the color of lavender, which is interesting because she came to me through the color of like showing me this pink coral, but the way she comes through and maybe wants to connect deeper with you is through the color of lavender. So there's these different ways you can connect with her. And Ariel is a name that you can keep, or you can rename her. Okay. She's here to help you find and and discover your emotional depth, because it's much more it's much more grandiose and deep than what you are maybe currently experiencing, or that you either want to go. I'm not sure which one it is, but it feels like there's resistance to maybe going to the depths, because I don't know if that's being afraid of what others might think or say, or that others might not be able to keep up with you. Not quite sure. But she's here to help you find your emotional depth and swim in those waters, because you're far more accustomed to them and equipped for them than again, then you give yourself credit for. Okay. Or then you might give yourself credit for. I'm not sure. But it's something like that. um, there is, in fact, yes, there is. Okay, all right, I get it, I get it. Okay, there is an activation that she'd like to bring through as well. If that is something that you are available for and receptive to. So let me know in the comments, Carly, if that's something that you are. I'm losing my English. That you would like receptive. Okay, you're wearing lavender right now. Look at, see, it's great. It's nice to see you again. Promise. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. That's my favorite. Spend time in Florida often. Okay. All right. All right. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense to me, actually. Okay. So, Carly, I want you. Okay. I want you to focus. I want you to. It's very interesting. I want you to focus on your heart. But instead of green, I want you to see lavender. Okay. So, lavender heart. Okay, I want you to just focus in right there in your heart center and then visualize or just, think about the color of lavender, okay? These feel like they may be a little bit more gentle. We'll see. Hi Eloi in the highest alehoa his yes I show sonadia. Aleluia, Eloia, Inashishia Sata Yawasai Anata. Aleluia, 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 Yasashuye, Isashuye, Isashuye Yahala. Noe, Ihasana do Uye, Hiasanaki, Yasanaki, Yasanatalewe. Dalewe Nekitia, Dianaha, Dianaha, Leudoya Sini, Ikuishia. Ise shiatsa netu wish yasa shia 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 yasia isia shia nata yala sienati. Keep focusing on my heart. Ileo no ia seneti aia do ia nati. Ukuya neti ki enata imawele. Hianati, ianati, ianati, yela awa seneti asanati 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 ala awea. Aleluia, nele ia ha de rana de hoene de ase. Ilianoia, iloa seneti hiana hayata kiwele ia sanatia. Ure senatia la katihona. Another deep breath. Ilenoia ia hianati 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 ilato ia te hanati. Ikui inete tatahena sanatikia anatu uala. Exploring, give yourself permission to explore your emotional depths, your emotional waters. Ileoane hasanatikia nata atatia tata. Aleoya natia latanati hasanati hiasanati hiasanati. Aleoya, ileoya, ileoya, nati iata iaraseti. Ariasata iasanati hiata. Just letting all of that circulate in your field and feeling any sensations, Feeling any sensations that you feel. Ale o wana hea na ta hea la na hea ne tutu iele ya li hea to wena hea ta. Just allowing all of that to circulate in your field. It feels like it feels like over the next couple of days, I'm also hearing weeks, there's some uncovering of new depths. New emotional depths, but just new depths within your own consciousness. I'm not quite sure how to articulate that other than new depths, like new, almost like new heights, but like deep within you. Okay, so it feels like we're utilizing the frequency of water in order to uncover or unearth new parts within you that maybe you knew were there to some capacity, but like it feels like there's a new uncovering. That's the only word that I can kind of, that comes close to what I'm feeling, is like a new, something new being unearthed. Okay. As far as like emotionally, as far as like the depth of the being that you are. Something new in that realm being uncovered, or a new depth, right? Being uncovered. Just let that circulate. We're just circulating that energy. We're circulating in that we're circulating these frequencies and these light codes in your field. And we're utilizing that lavender. Although I will say the lavender has turned into like a pearlescent type of lavender where there's like some white in there. It's like very pearlescent. And I'm just using that that pearlescent light to really activate your field and uncover some new things. Just keep focusing on your heart, my dear Carly. Keep focusing on that heart. See that pearlescent, like lavender light circulating in your field, circulating in your body. So we're just activating your DNA right now. Okay. One last little bit of light codes coming in. Hiana walea nila hoyana hiana ta yasana te kiwi ne hasana te hiasana te hiasana te hiasana te hiasana te ile wene hiana te hiana te hiana te hiana te uala te ana te kiana te ule ante tia ene tu ya ne tu ene tu ene tu ene tu ile ene ta yo wahia sanata ala yo ene elo ne tu ya ne te hiasana ki wane te hiasana ki wane Iwane, 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 iwane. Iwane, awene, hiana, te, hiana, hiana, te. Take a deep breath and let that all circulate. That's going to keep circulating again for about the next 24 hours, give or take. And over the next couple days, I'm hearing it circulate, or I'm hearing it extending it out into like, the next 2 weeks possibly. that there's going to be some uncovering. And a lot of times, like our guides or our highest self, they do it in a, they want to do, they want to do the processes in a much gentler way. So sometimes that's like a prolonged period of time, in order to help us kind of gently acclimate to it. And that's kind of what this feels like. Okay. So maybe mark today in your calendar and mark 2 weeks out and see kind of how things have shifted from today until then. But there seems to be some kind of ongoing, a little bit more of an extended process, a little bit more of an extended like unraveling or revealing itself. And I'm, that's, I just kind of feel to bring that to your attention. So I am. I'm just going to connect back to this aspect of you. Okay. There's just some other things. With this aspect of you, it's another aspect of you that feels like it's actually in the 6th dimension. Still here on Earth, but in the 6th dimension. Different, completely different version of Earth. Okay. There's a lot of peaceful communications between humans. So it feels like a more of a peaceful Earth, as well as, peaceful communications and interactions with all of its inhabitants that have unlocked this version of Earth. But this, I keep getting 6, and I want to say 6th dimensional. So this is a 6th dimensional aspect of you. It's really interesting because you're here. This aspect of you is here on Earth, and it also connects to the stars in another way that I'm not quite being shown. Typically, when I hear mermaid, I typically go to Sirius, because Sirius, like the constellation, Sirius tends to be the constellation where those types of beings come from. But there is a connection to the stars that wants to be acknowledged. I'm just not quite sure what the connection is there. But I'm just sharing with you my own connection. So I'm not sure if that's the same connection or what, but there is a connection to the stars as well. Okay. And that usually connects to Sirius for me. But again, I keep seeing this, like this purple, this lavender color connecting all the way back to the stars. So again, you can connect to this aspect of you through that pearlescent lavender, because it's now shifted. So that pearlescent lavender, calling her in, through you calling her name, Ariel, or whatever other name that, a name that you'd like to give her. And I don't remember the other way that I said, or through water. She's coming through water. Okay. Let me just see if there's anything else, because it feels like she's like, that's it. It feels like this is going to be more than enough of information to process. Yeah, she's kind of given me the sign of like, okay, we're good. So I'm going to leave it there. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know how that went, Carly, or not. You don't have to. Again, we did there was a little bit of clearing. It was more activating in your field. But I always like to tell people that I facilitate any type of work for, especially energy work, is lots of water, lots and lots of water, and shower or salt bath will definitely help. But lots of water internally is going to help distribute those codes and that energy to the cells and to the DNA and to all of the places within you that it needs to be distributed. Okay. On top of that, if you need to go back, if you want to go back and watch this, I always post all of my TikTok lives on my YouTube channel, so that, if anybody wants to watch, their old lives or the activations, or there's a whole playlist I have on there. Okay. Otherwise, I think that's it. How was that, my dear? I think we're good. Thank you for allowing me to facilitate for you, Carly. It's always a pleasure. Very nice. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Just be aware of any new awarenesses around water, around emotions, anything water related, or, that feminine energy related, or that brings that guide, or that other aspect of you into mind. Just kind of be aware, and feel free to reach out to me with any new insights or anything like that here on TikTok, on a live, etc. Okay. Other than that, that's going to be it for me tonight. And I will be back on another live some other time, probably tomorrow. Right? Infinite love and blessings. Have a beautiful night.